Hi there. This is the third and final video tutorial for how to set up your WordPress blog for the Be the Editor assignment. So what I'm going to show you in this video is how to create posts, but also how to place those posts where you want them. So in order to do that, the first thing you're going to need to do is create menus. Create categories that correspond to your menus. What that enables you to do is every time you find a story that you want to put on your online newspaper, you can select which menu it's going to fall in by creating categories and then clicking on those categories. So what I mean by that is you add a post, and then once you hit add for add a post, you're going to see these options on the left side, one of which is categories. And you're going to want to add a new category, and you're going to want to add these different categories: top story, national news, local news, and opinion. Then you're going to want to put your article that you find on the internet in here, and then indicate which of these categories you want it to go in. Now, once you've created your categories over here, you got to go into a post in order to do that. You want to go back to your dashboard and go back to menus. And then add each category to the corresponding menu. So click on the pencil icon here, and then scroll down the page to get to category. And for top stories, click categories, click OK. On national stories, go down to category, click national news, click OK. Local stories, click on this. Local news, click on that, click OK. And opinion, you do the same, and then hit save. Okay, so that's how you make sure that you have got categories that match up with your menus. Now let me show you how to create the news stories and how to put them in the right categories. So in order to add my first news story, I'm going to go to add. Okay, and now I'm ready to post a news story. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new tab, and I want a national story to add. So I'm going to go to thenewyorktimes.com. Now, if you haven't already signed up for a free online subscription to the New York Times so that you can access an unlimited number of articles, you will find a link to do that on our La Lima site for the class. Okay, that link that's on the La Lima site is going to take you to a web page at the University of Hawaii Hamilton Library, where it'll walk you through the steps to get a free subscription to the New York Times. If you don't have a free subscription, you're going to find that your access to the New York Times is going to run out pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead, and I actually should be logged in here. I'll make sure I'm logged in. And I'm going to go to this first story about Trump administration being kind of a mess. Now, for my story, I want not only a headline and the top of the story in my blog post for my online newspaper, I want a photo too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this photo to my hard drive. I'm going to call it Turmoil at NSC. Okay, so I'm going to save it, Turmoil at NSC. Okay. Now, when you save any of the images you're going to use for your website, make sure you save them somewhere where you're going to remember where they are. So, now I'm ready to start putting the content into my blog post. So the first thing I want to do is grab the headline. Okay? And I'm going to grab it like that, and I can either right click on it or I can just drag the cursor along it. But I'm going to go ahead and right click it, hit copy, and I'm going to do Command V for paste. And now I have my headline. The next thing I want to do is I want to add an image. So I'm going to add that image that I just saved onto my hard drive. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to allow me to add a new image. So this is my library. It's going to allow me up to 3 gigabits of photos on here. So I'm going to go add new. And I'm going to go to my folder. And I have Turmoil at the NSC right here. I'm going to add it right there. Got it selected. And I'm going to insert right like that. And now I just need some text. I just want the first couple of paragraphs of text because that's all that's going to really show up on my blog. So I'm just going to go there, right click, copy it, come back over here. I'm going to paste it down below right here. I'm going to make sure my cursor is not where the photo is so that it ends up all messed up. And then I'm going to go to categories and tags, and I'm going to make sure that I put this in top stories and national news. And I'm going to go ahead and I can preview it. And that's what it's going to look like on my website. That should be what it looks like on my website. We'll see. And now I'm going to go ahead and publish. All right, so there's now 2 ways I can go to my website to look at it. I can go to View Post, or I can go to Mediasaurus right here and take a look. Okay, it's looking like I forgot to do one last thing in order to get this to show up right. I have to set this as the featured image, the picture that I had in there. So I'm going to go back here to my blog post page. And under featured image, I'm going to click Set Featured Image, and I'm going to select that. And I'm going to click Set Featured Image. Update. Okay, and now let's take a look. And there it is. It's under Top Stories and under National Stories. Is it under Local Stories? No. Is it under Opinion? No. And that's because I have my categories selected properly. Okay, now I'm going to go and choose a local story to add to my website. So I'm going to go to Star Advertiser, Honolulu. And look at that. There's a story about the Grammy winner, Kalaniapea, wins Grammy for Best Regional Roots Album. That looks like a great story to feature. I don't think I'm going to go for the sports story. Okay, so I'm going to go through the same drill basically with this story. I'm going to grab this headline, copy it with my right click. I'm going to create a new post. So add post. And I'm going to paste. Now I want to add an image. I might be able to just drag an image over. So this is my, this right here is my image. Can I do that? Let's see. No, that's messed up looking. So I want to get rid of that. I will just do it the simple way. I'm going to hit on Add Media, and look, I've already downloaded the image to my hard drive and uploaded it here, so I'm going to select that. I'm going to insert it there, and then I'm going to put this text, copy it, and paste it, and I'm going to put it in local news and top stories. And so that's local news and top stories. And now I'm going to publish. Oh, I forgot to set it as my featured image again. Okay, and it should have updated. And there we are. We've got this on our top stories, and it's our local story. We have one national story so far, and it's right there. Now, if you notice, when I do top stories, the most recent blog post that I've posted shows up first. In other words, highest and farthest to the left, which is sort of the top slot for my stories. If I want this to be the main story I want to feature, then I can adjust that in the blog posts. So I go back to my dashboard. So to change the order of these posts, what I do is I go to blog posts, and I want this one to show up before this one. So let's see, if I go to edit this one, my blog is always going to show my most recent post first. So this one was posted February 13th, according to this, at 3:51 p.m. So I have to make my other post more recent than that. I'm going to go back to the list. I'm going to choose to edit this post. I'm going to go to update, and I'm going to change this to 3:52 p.m. And I'm going to update. And now I'm going to see. And look, it reversed the order. So it's always going to show the most recent post up here at the top on the left. And that's all there is to it. So that pretty much concludes my editorials, my tutorials. Go ahead and email me if you have any questions. I didn't end up showing you press this on this because depending on which browser you're using, you might run into complications with it. So I pretty much just showed you the simplest way to get all this to work. So good luck, and I'll see you soon.